Hi guys, I'm Kasia. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss movies and horror. And today I'm here finally to talk to you about the movie The Nun 2.
It's coffee time!
This year we have had new installments on the universe that James Wan created. We got the new Insidious movie and then the very expected new movie in the Conjuring universe. I was excited to go and watch it because I am one of the people, one of the few out there that actually didn't mind The Nun, and I think it's because for me as a villain, as an evil, I truly love Valak as a character since the moment it was introduced in the franchise, and my love for that character was, you know, what made me really enjoy The Nun. So I wanted to see more of the character, see if we were going to understand the character and the background better. So I went to watch it and I'm here to let you guys know, as always, my thoughts spoiler-free. The Nun 2 was directed by Michael Chavez and he was also responsible for two other movies in the Conjuring universe. We have The Curse of La Llorona and we also have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So this is the third installment that he's bringing to the franchise, and altogether The Nun 2 is considered the 9th installment in the franchise. The movie is a direct sequel to The Nun, and the movie stars Teresa Farmiga, Jonas Bloquet, and Bonnie Aarons that return from the first film. We are in 1956 France. A priest is murdered. Evil is rapidly spreading and more people are dying. In the sequel, we follow Sister Irene as she is once again asked by the Vatican to perform a miracle. She will have no other choice but to come face to face again with Valak, the demon nun. When the character of Valak first appeared in the Conjuring universe, it was in The Conjuring 2, and the first time that we get to see the character, I remember that was such a chilling moment, like truly terrifying, and that's when I fell in love with this character that was in the dark with almost like dark sunken eyes, but at the same time we realized that she had these piercing demon yellow eyes, and I just loved her so much from the very beginning. So obviously Valak is again going to be the evil in The Nun 2, so we are already expecting to see her as a character, and I was really excited to see what they were gonna do with her. Now, apart from the evil aspect, which we already know that is going to be Valak, we have again Sister Irene. It has been 5 years since her first encounter with Valak, and now she kind of wants to be left alone and is in a new convent and makes new friends, including one of the new sisters, Sister Deborah, and together now they are forced to travel to Europe to fight Valak once again. We learn that Valak, our demon, was indeed not destroyed and vanquished forever after the events of the first film, and we have now new priests and nuns that are kind of either committing a suicide that is obviously influenced by the demon, or they're being straight on killed by this demon, and so the Vatican asks Irene to please, you know, go back again and fight this demon that she already fought once and perform another miracle for the Vatican. Farmiga's character is one of the best things about this film. They all did a wonderful job when it comes to the performances, but I feel like she was the one carrying the majority of the film in her shoulders when it comes to the acting. And you can see the evolution of Sister Irene as a character that at the beginning of The Nun was kind of shy and a little bit insecure. And now in The Nun 2, we have Sister Irene a lot more confident in her faith and definitely stronger. I personally did enjoy the framing of a lot of the scenes. I personally love some of the camera work that was put into the film, and I did absolutely love the settings for this film. The majority of it happens in Europe. There's a lot of architecture that comes to place. There is this old convent that is now a boarding school, and it gives you so much kind of like, you know, beautiful spaces with beautiful architecture that look ancient, that is perfect for a kind of like an atmospheric gothic setting. Also, The Nun 2 takes place in a French village, and there are a lot of more people that are in danger because The action takes place in the boarding school where we have all the little girls and teachers and, you know, the people, the staff that are there that are all gonna be kind of targeted by Valak. So it does give Valak kind of more space to play and to scare us. And even though I love that Valak was back and I love that we did get a tiny bit of the demon's background, I feel like there is still so much to uncover about the character that I still don't know about, and I was a little bit sad that I didn't get more information, like more concrete info on the background. Let's talk horror, and obviously with this movie what you are expecting is to see Valak at some point, and I feel like this movie gave the character so much exposure that at some point it lost the effectiveness, the element of surprise and mystery. From the very beginning of the movie you get to see Valak a lot, which, you know, in the one hand we love to see it, but then at which point is it just too much? It's kind of detrimental to the horror aspect and to the scares. There is a reason why, you know, the monsters, the boogeymans, they're all kind of kept in the shadows for a lot of the running time of films. It's to kind of create that tension, that expectation, that mystery surrounding the evil. And even though you know how the character looks, obviously, because you've seen it before in the Conjuring universe, but it would have still been maybe a little bit nicer if we would not have had so much exposure from the very beginning. We see traditional scary shots of Valak, but also some that include some CGI, and I was not such a big fan of those. I feel like a character like her and having an actress that has the perfect bone structure for this, I didn't think that all of those CGI moments were great. Those were not my favorite. There is another element of evil that is introduced in the film that I kind of saw coming, and I didn't know if they were gonna be bold enough to go for it, and they did, and I was living because it did kind of bring something new. If you know, you know. I'm just not gonna give you any details because I do consider that a spoiler, but there was another kind of element of evil in the story that comes up towards the ending, and I was really on board for that. The horror in general was a little bit underwhelming in the sense that Chavez chose to go for a lot of the tropes that we have seen before. So there was nothing truly new, but there are some ideas there. One of those ideas you already get to see in the trailer, which is, you know, the magazines that start moving in the middle of the night with the wind. But then when you watch the full scene in the cinema, I felt like it was dragging a little bit, that they could have edited that a little bit tighter perhaps, but there are some good moments that I thought, you know, okay, they're trying to bring something a little bit new in a way. But when it comes to the jump scares, some of them worked, but the majority were predictable and expected, and, you know, things that we've seen before, especially we've seen Chavez do before in the other movies that he has directed. At the end of the day, I gave this movie a 2.5 out of 5. I feel like we did get a lot of character growth and development, and the characters were given a lot more heart and feelings. I just wish I would have seen more of Valak's background. The European setting and the beautiful buildings did help a lot with creating a creepy atmosphere and make the movie a little bit scary. I just wish that at times they would have, you know, given us like even darker shots. They would have kept things a lot more in the dark. Some jump scares, like I said, were effective, but I feel like we do get to see too much of Valak too soon, which can be detrimental to the element of surprise and mystery and all of that, like I said. But in general, I think that it is not a bad installment in the franchise. I did enjoy it. I'm not sure if I loved it more than the first one or not, but I am not disappointed if I compared them. The two of them, I think these are two movies that I could rewatch as a comfort watch. But I think it's also, like I said, because I really do love Valak as a character. There is a mid-roll scene, so there is something that is shown very early on after the movie ends, so, you know, stay tuned for that if you go to the cinema. So this was, you guys, my spoiler-free review on The Nun 2. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you love the Conjuring universe, if you're a fan of The Nun and Valak, as I am. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye!